up, Rap Gang? Good to be back. 2019-2020 season getting kind of kicked off here. Hope you guys enjoyed the little ride video I had saved up from last season. Of course, that was filmed a long time ago, so anything I talked about, I've sat on all summer. We're gonna head over to Dad's, check out the Assault. I have an awesome new part that I'm gonna be installing today. I think it's one of the biggest steps to taking the Assault from a trail-friendly crossover to a true crossover sled. Brings it more in the territory of like the SKS and the backcountry XRS. So we're gonna go check that out, and I hope you guys are excited for the upcoming season. Looks like something's missing in here. I wonder where the RR went. All right, so let's go over what we're working on here. I was able to talk to an awesome company named Mountainside Products. I really appreciate them working with me this season. We're going to be adding, let's see if it says it on here. Well, it doesn't say exactly what it is, but you can see that we're going to be adding new spindles to the Polaris Assault. This is the packaging. It's going to come with a Mountainside Products hat, which is really cool. Comes with 2 Mountainside Products decals. They supply this blue Loctite. You got instructions on everything you have to do. Torque specs on the tie rod, A-arms, all that. Full on directions. So when I talked to Mountainside Products, let's open these up. They actually only offered 2 different colors on the spindles. They had black, which obviously I went with, or you could get just like a non-finished metal. I went with the black because, you know, spent all the time to order the black last year when I snow checked. Got to stick with it. But now they do powder coat. They have some awesome powder coat options. So if you guys want to match colors on your sleds, you can probably check it out and do your best to match them up. So let's go over the big difference. As you can see, the upper portion of the spindle is pretty similar. You can kind of see it's going to be in a similar spot, but if you look at the bottom, you can see that it's got that taper in, which is going to allow us to be able to adjust the ski stance. As you can see from the factory, there's this bushing on the inside of the Polaris trail spindle, and that is not removable. You cannot move that. You could cut it off and machine it down and then kind of do like a custom job to move it wider, but this is as narrow as you could really ever make the sled with the stock spindle. So that's where these come into place. So I feel like the biggest difference with the Assault and the SKS is the track options with the SKS don't really allow for full-on like top speed. You're running a 2.25, I forget what the other option is. With the Assault, you can get the 1.3 if you're into top speed. You can get the 1.6 if you're into top speed, or you can get the 2-inch if you're more into off-trail. But the non-adjustable front suspension kind of hinders you a bit. So obviously in Old Forge I do a lot of lake running, I do a lot of trail riding, but I do like to get off-trail when I can. I think having the adjustable suspension will be a big plus, but the sled.
Isn't it nice? I can remember when I would take the cover off the boat, I'd fall.
It looks great, doesn't it?
Just cleaning it up, I'd fall back in love. Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so back onto these spindles. So first things first is, I think one of the coolest parts is they have a 2-year warranty on workmanship and materials, and on top of that they have a 1-year free replacement warranty. So you hit a tree and you destroy these and you can still get a brand new pair. They're 1 pound lighter than stock. They're based on the factory profile with some small adjustments. They're made of 6061 aircraft aluminum, so they're going to be an awesome material, offer a little bit of extra weight reduction on the unsprung weight of the sled. With the spindles set to the narrowest position, you'll be 2 inches narrower overall than the sled is stock. So these do also go on any other trail Polaris model. So you want to put them on your Indy XC 137, they'll go on there. You want to put them on your 129 with a big old like 1.75 inch track, if you got the XCR, you could do that too. I think it's a nice option to have. It's always cool to be able to narrow up your sled if you're going to go out and play in the powder for the day. It's just a nice little touch that I really think the Assault should have come with. Like I was saying before, the SKS, just with the track options that it has, doesn't really have the top speed, and with where I ride and the type of riding I do, I like to have as much top speed as possible with my sled. And so I think this will really give me the ultimate Assault. I got the 1.6, so I got solid flotation off trail. I got really good traction on trail. I got the adjustable spindles, so I can run them at the wider width when we're just gonna hit the trails like early in the season before the deep powder really starts to accumulate. And then, you know, as the season goes on, I could go middle setting or full on narrowest setting when, you know, me and the full send guys are gonna go just rip off trail all day. So I think this is one of the major things the Assault needs, and I know you guys are in the same boat as me, so definitely go check out Mountainside products. I'll put a link down below. We're going to get going on the install, and I'll show you guys where we're at afterwards. Just to make it easier, I'm going to go with the inner part of the ski, just because it's easier for me to get the tape measure onto, and I can use these little extrusions on the XCSs to kind of hold the tape measure solid. So right now I'm showing 45.5 inches from this spot to this spot. That's at the front of the ski. Let's check the back. Yep, so perfect alignment right now, 45.5 at the back too. So that's cool. That's something that we're going to have to check once we get the new spindles on. I'll measure them initially at the widest position, make sure everything lines up, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I hope I got the right size thing here.
Wow, these didn't hold up too bad. Oh, this is the good side though.
Oh, you got a good side?
Oh, you know, less gross side. Alright, so first spindle's off. Definitely pro tip, keep one ski completely on, and I would honestly loosen everything with the sled on the ground, then jack it up. Totally did this in a bad order, but I got it done. None of the bolts were too tricky. Everything's kind of different sizes, so you just kind of got to explore it. Came off pretty good, so we will get going on the installation of the new side. Per Mountainside Products instructions, blue Loctite everything. Kind of wanted to show you guys the differences in the spindles. So you can see this piece is no longer in there. A little bit bigger spacing there, not too different. You can kind of see the overall profile of them on top of one another. You can definitely see where things have been shaved off, expanded, adjusted, things like that. Front profile is obviously the biggest difference. You have the taper for the spindle that makes it so it's actually adjustable. Super nice product though. You can kind of see the difference. This is anodizing, and this is obviously powder coated from the factory. They do powder coating now, like I said. Anodizing will be a kind of a cool little mix. It'll actually match the A-arms a little bit better, so I mean, doesn't really matter too much, but should be pretty cool. And look at all the CNC work on the inside of the spindles. I mean, the inside's beautiful. I love that. They've just done great work. I definitely recommend these to you guys if you're at all thinking about trying to make your Assault adjustable. The price is awesome on them. $340, like I said. You get the spacers, you get the blue Loctite, you get all that stuff. Powder coating is $45. They have Polaris white, Polaris orange, Polaris green, which I'm assuming is the lime color, Polaris red, and Polaris blue. So lots of cool options there. And then, like I said, these are anodized, so you can get them anodized in black for $20, or you can just go with bare aluminum, depending on the kind of sled that you spec'd out or you're putting them on, and that'll just be the base $340. So. Okay, so I put the skis back on so that everybody can kind of get an idea of what we're working with. So the spacers are to the inside, so that's going to bring your ski as far in as it can. You can kind of see the difference between the outer part of the spindle and how you got maybe, I don't know, what is that, half an inch hanging out past that, whereas over here you can see you got this entire section of the ski hanging out past it, and that will actually measure it, but gives you an idea. And like I said, it's completely adjustable, so you can go wider and back to stock if you want, or you can keep it narrow. So there's 3 of these down here you gotta take off. So far this is the most annoying part of the whole thing, honestly. Bunch of shit you gotta put on and off. And you can just yank the boot off. There you go. So you want to loosen the inner and outer bolt. You got to use a wrench to hold the tie rod stationary and a wrench to loosen up the nut. So 16 mil on the tie rod, 17 on the nut. So per online, there's about a million ways you can do this, but what I did beforehand was I just measured out the distance. I showed you guys the more front part and the back part, and both were 45.5, so I'm just going to aim in those 2 spots to get the same measurement as the sled sitting, because the alignment was good before, and nothing should have changed since then. Obviously, if there was a difference, I would have kept the difference, but it was spot on, so make sure your handlebars are straight. About a half turn on that one. Half turn on that one. Measure again. 43.5. And 43, so we got a ways to go. A little over 43, about 43.1/8. Close. Say about a half turn. Should be there. 43.1/8. Perfect. 43.1/8 front and back. So we went from 45.5 to 43.1/8, measuring in the same spots on both sides. Just gonna stand on it and make sure everything looks decent. Yep, that is perfect. Sweet. Kind of a pain in the ass, I gotta be totally honest, but once you figure out how to loosen everything, so there's the push pins, and then there's like star bolts, Ferguson's I think. No, that's not what they're called, I don't remember. So you gotta take out the star bolts first, and then you can just pop them off, and it's pretty easy. So ballpark, after measuring everything, we lost about 2 3/4 inches from the original stance with the wider skis to what it is now. Pretty solid. It's only supposed to be a 2-inch offset, so you get a little extra something out of it. Real world measurements, that's just kind of what I got. I went from 45.5 to 43.125, so 43.1/8 when it's on the full narrow setting. So I think that's pretty solid. And that's not the like true ski width measurements. That's, you know, CNA Pro, and I measured from the same spots to the same spots. So you could just go off of whatever stock is and subtract 2 1/4 inches, and that's pretty much what you end up with. Can't tell if I want to leave it narrow for now or go with the, I think I'm going to go with the middle setting. But I'm glad everything is aligned and we should be good now. The last little thing you got to do, when you're aligning these bolts, you want to make sure that your ball joints are even on both ends. So like that, so that nothing binds up. So you have a nice squared off there and nice and even there, just like that. So. Okay, so here's the finished product. Sorry, the slide's running. I don't want to turn it off too quick. I just started it up, let it actually kind of warm up. But so there's the new spindles. Like I said, I put them in the middle setting, so kind of just, it'll give me like a nice way to kind of test it out when the season starts, kind of see what the difference is, and then like I said, I can go narrower or more wide as it kind of goes along. The project was pretty easy overall. I'd give like the actual spindles like a 3 out of 10 as far as like the installation goes. Like I said, the hardest part was the tie rods. They were just an absolute pain in the ass, but I got through them. Just take your time, you know, make sure everything's lined up, make sure when you're tightening everything, you're being gentle, and it'll all go pretty well. So yeah, super excited that Charlie from Mountainside Products decided to work with me. If you guys are interested, definitely check out their website. Like I said before, they've got all the different powder coat options. They have the anodizing, they have the bare metal, kind of all sorts of applications to fit all your different sleds. They make spindles for RMKs. They're gonna start having spindles for the Arctic Cat mountain segment sleds, so not the trail ones, but still cool that they're gonna, you know, be expanding to other brands and stuff. So I know a lot of my cat guys follow the channel. Definitely check them out if you're trying to do something with your sled. If you guys have any questions about the install, just throw a comment down below and I'll help you guys out as best I can. And I hope you guys are excited to hear a little bit more about these spindles once the season gets going. There's kind of your front on shot of everything. You can see the difference. Even in the middle setting, the spindle towards the top is pretty much flush with the outer edge of the center of the ski. So not that it's the center, whatever this is, the saddle of the ski, I guess you would call that. It's pretty much spot on. So then when you go even one more and you're even farther over to give it to make it even more narrow. So yeah, so like I said, the best part about this is you can take your salt and you can make it more trail friendly without having to do something like get an SKS or get a sled that's gonna really make you sacrifice top speed. I know a lot of my New York guys are doing a lot of trail riding, but we do like to get off trail, and this will make it more fun, but it'll also keep a really solid trail sled and everything that we love about the Assault as far as on-trail riding goes. So like I said, definitely check out Mountainside Products. Let them know Rev Rider 550 sent you, and I hope you guys are excited to see more on the product.